Hello all, it's Sam again, Sam from Soul Let Sparkle with Sam. Apologies, first of all, if I am a bit croaky throughout this video. I have been a little bit under the weather this week. Can't really put my finger on it. I've done a couple of tests for the C word, but I've been negative throughout. So I think I have just got a bit of a cold, but I've got a really scratchy throat and I'm feeling just a bit, not my normal self. But hey ho, still plenty of time for sewing. So it is July, it's Tuesday, it's June actually, it's not July yet, it's Tuesday, and it's the Sewing Bee final tomorrow. So on my Facebook page, I've been doing a sweepstakes, so every week it just makes it a bit more exciting, and people that follow me, I offer up a sweepstake at the beginning of the Sewing Bee season. I've done it a couple of years now, and then if you kind of say, yeah, you'll be part of the sweepstake, then I pull people's names out and you all get a contestant. And if you win, I send you a prize. So I haven't really thought about it until the last couple of weeks. I thought, oh, it's going to be the final soon. I better get on and make the prize for the sweepstake winner. Now, obviously, I have no idea who it's going to be. It could be one of 4 people on my Facebook page, and I don't know everyone really well, so I kind of have to go for something that I think everyone will like. So here's what I've come up with. I've been doing lots of scrap busting this week, and I've been making lots of my little felt brooches. So I've made this little bee felt brooch, a little pin on the back for a winner, because I think if you're a winner you need a badge, don't you, to say I won. So it's like a little sewing bee rosette for the winner. I've also decided to support a local business, so I have bought this gorgeous, it says Save the Bees, and it's a key fob. It's to put your keys on, and it's made, this is so clever, it's made out of a recycled teaspoon that would have just gone in the rubbish, and then it's a pretty little bee key fob, so I thought that would be nice. And then I have this little quilted with a magnetic clasp pouch for putting all of your little, I was thinking more like sewing notions, for perhaps putting through threads and stuff, but it'll just fit in your bag nicely. And obviously bee themed, and there was a crown on it, so I thought, well, if you're the winner of the Sewing Bee, you should have a crown. So whoever wins my, I'll tell you next week who wins and who I get to send that off to. But yeah, so that's the prize for the Sewing Bee final. Just makes it a bit exciting because then everybody knows, there's a reason for watching it, as well as just watching it, enjoying it. You're kind of like rooting for somebody. So yes, well, I'm not going to talk about last week's semi-final because it was a bit controversial, and I'm like, I don't want to kind of cause too many issues over that. But we've got a very exciting final. 4 in the final is fun. So yeah, so as I said, I've been doing some scrap busting. I make these little felt brooches. They mainly go into the community shop. I'm thinking about perhaps putting some on my Etsy shop, but I haven't really got round to it yet. And they just have, it's got some tape on, so it's just to tape it onto the card, but it's got a little pin badge on the back, and then I sew on beads and buttons, and they look very pretty. But it's ever so easy to do. Basically, all you need to do is get a piece of felt, interface the back of the felting, and I just use whatever interfacing I've got. So whenever I'm making a bag or whatever I'm making, or clothes, or whatever, I put the rest of my interfacing, any of the interfacing scraps, I've got in a little basket. And then when I'm making things like these, I use the scraps on the back of the felt, because it doesn't really, you can buy proper applique embroidery interfacing. It's really expensive, and actually you don't need it. As long as you've interfaced it with something, it's fine. And then you put your applique shape on the front in the normal way that you would with heat and bond, or with glue, or whatever you use. And then you free motion embroider around the outside, and at this point that's where you put all of your bits and pieces on. But remember, you are going to be sewing around it again, so don't put your buttons and beads too close to the edge, because you won't be able to get around it with the second one. And then you just put another piece of felt on, so you just get another piece of felt, pop it on, and then you sew around sorry, when you sew around neater than that, you sew all the way around, and then you can chop it. You can either do it like this with pinking shears, or you can just do it plain like this. And this one I've actually done as a key fob rather than a pin brooch. But yeah, really dead easy. Takes a couple of minutes to make. It takes me the longest to find out which scraps I like the most, because I go by my scrap basket and reminisce about all of the things that I made with all the different fabrics. I'm rubbish. So yeah, it's really, really fun thing to do, and definitely good for using up your scraps. So yeah, so while I've been doing that, something that has gone on my Etsy shop this week is my little thank you teacher apple key fobs, and they're made in exactly the same way, but I don't put any bits and pieces on these ones. I just use the cotton and the felt, and then just applique the shapes for the leaves and things. And I've made all of those in the key fobs. So yeah, they're pretty much the same, but obviously they are unique and handmade, handcrafted, so they're all slightly different. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing this week. I decided I wanted to be a bit kind to myself this week because I've been not feeling very well. I thought I wanted to do something that was quite nice, simple, didn't need to be too precise. That's what I needed this week. So that was a really nice thing to do. So I've really enjoyed that. The other thing that I've been doing is I've been making myself some new makeup wipes, because not last year, year before, I made myself loads of makeup wipes, and I made myself a little carrier to put them in. Absolutely fantastic. I've just noticed, which is not bad, like 2 years, and I wash them every week. I have 20, and I use 20 throughout the week, and I wash them every single week. And I've just noticed that a few of them are starting to look a bit tatty. So because I used bamboo cotton for them all, I can tear them up and put them in my compost bin. So they're just going to biodegrade. And I've decided to make myself some more. So I've got this set up on. It's actually for a photo stand. I've got this set up, and then whenever I've got a minute, or if I've got a different coloured thread or whatever, because it doesn't matter, they're makeup wipes, then I just leave them on there ready to go, and then just do one quickly while I'm on a different sewing project. I find that easier because they're so repetitive that if I try and do 20 in one go, I get bored, because that's just the way I am. So I just have them all cut and ready. So I've got a piece of terry toweling, and then a piece of cotton. And then this time I've decided to add, I didn't last time, I've decided to add a little bit of ribbon. So it's got like a ribbon tag on it. So you can use it to hold it to put your moisturiser and stuff on with. Yeah, and then you just sew all the way around, leave a gap, turn it through and top stitch, and ta-da. You've got your lovely makeup wipes. So yeah, so as I said, I've been really kind to myself. I've not done anything too complicated this week, just a nice simple sews. I have had a few customer orders, but luckily they have either been things that I've already had made, or things that have been quite simple. One of the things that I thought I'd show you is this. So one of my lovely customers asked for a new peg bag, and her only brief was, please can it be bright and sunny? So there you go, one bright and sunny peg bag. And I've done a circle opening, because she said that was one of the other things that she said, that she found that peg bags that she'd bought before, the holes were too small, or that if it was just an envelope opening, she couldn't get a hand in to each peg. So she wanted a nice big opening to put all her pegs in. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to this week. Very different to the last couple of weeks, because I've kind of made myself be a bit slower. Excuse me. Yeah, I've made myself be a bit slower. A bit of self-care, really, a bit of self-love. I think you have to look after yourself. If you're not feeling quite right, then look after yourself and make sure that you're good. So that is what I have been up to. So next week, obviously this week we've got the Sew and Be final. So next week I will try and start a different challenge for myself, because all of my challenges will be finished. So if you have any ideas, pop them in the comments. If you want to find out what my challenges are, then obviously, and you like what you see, then subscribe, and then you'll see future videos of me chatting about my sewing week. I have to apologise to you all. I did promise you some more tutorials on my channel last week, and I just haven't got round to editing them. They don't need much editing, they just need a little bit of editing, and I was hoping that I was going to have a bit of time, but with me not feeling very well, I didn't quite have time to do it. So I will definitely do that this week, and then you'll get a torrent of tutorials going on the channel as soon as I can manage it. So have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you've had some inspiration, and maybe you'll have a go at a bit of sewing this week. If not, just look after yourself. Take care. Bye for now.